What is a not fun fact? Bus seats are designed so that you cannot tell how dirty they really are. Your skeleton is wet. Your intestines will wriggle themselves back into the correct position. Doctors who do any type of intestinal surgery don't have to worry too much about how they put the intestines back in. A certain type of anglerfish reproduce via the male burrowing into the side of the female, eventually fusing. The male life is lost in the process. People who survived the Holocaust and get Alzheimer's often think they are back in the camps. So they escape one of humanity's greatest horrors, only to die in it 50 years later. If you are an identical twin, it is possible that you and your siblings' identities were swapped, and your parents never caught it. Sometimes you're the bad guy. When you get a sunburn, it's actually your cells dying, so they don't get tumorous. The reason you're supposed to contact a doctor if you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours is because prolonged priapism can lead to gangrene of the DCK. Blood goes in, deoxygenates, but can't leave, so there's no way for fresh oxygenated blood to come in, causing the tissue to turn black and die. Don't worry, though. This can be treated by using a big syringe to suck the trapped blood out. Horses can't throw up, so if they eat something bad or get a bad gas bubble, they just lay down and die. In the United States, roughly 1/3 of all food is thrown away each year. There are 8 unaccounted for American nukes and literally an unknown quantity of missing Soviet nukes that range all the way from warheads to suitcase bombs. Valentine's Day is a holiday with one of the highest suicide rates. People who commit suicide by jumping off a bridge, those who don't die from the impact, drown because the impact breaks enough bones that prevents them from swimming. The FBI estimates there are between 25-50 active serial killers in the US at any given time. If you eat a polar bear liver, you will die. Humans can't handle that much vitamin A. Live chat support agents can see what you type before you send it, so they can reply quicker. The lemmings are not suicidal, and the documentary What Film Did was actually showing lemmings getting thrown down a cliff because they needed the scene, but couldn't make the animals do it. In 2017, 10,000 people died awaiting their disability decision. There is a genetic disease called FOP, where your muscles and tissue turn to bone, often called human statue disease. Eventually people may have to decide whether they want to become frozen in a sitting or flat standing position. People with extreme scurvy start to have all of their old wounds open up. Everything with a scar is held together via an active process with collagen, and without vitamin C just sort of stop. Urine was used for teeth whitening and bleaching of clothes in ancient Rome. Yes, they rinsed their mouth with human and animal urine. Spider Rain, you read that right, is a real and naturally occurring phenomenon. You can smell your own lungs. Your brain just filters out the smell. Some perfumes, or more specifically, musks you use, come from the oral and secretion glands of musk deers and civet cats. Penguins rate the hell out of anything that looks vaguely penguin-like or doesn't move. In fact, it was so rampant that the 1910-13 Scott Antarctic expedition decided it was best not to bring it up, so society wouldn't have to deal with the issue it would bring up. Scientists witnessed males having sex with other males, and also with dead females, including several that had died the previous year. He also saw the Meszouli coerce females and chicks and occasionally kill them. The scientists blamed this astonishing depravity on hooligan males, and wrote down his observations in Greek, so that only an educated gentleman would understand the horrors he had witnessed. A blue-ringed octopus, found in the Pacific, is a tiny and cute little guy, but one painless bite gives enough venom to kill 25 male adults. Edit, change sting to bite. Also note, as long as you are given medical attention within an hour of you receiving the bite, you'll be fine. Cute, fuzzy little sea otters are known to rape baby seals to death. The search and rescue dogs on 9/11 were getting so sad from finding only dead bodies. The human helpers buried themselves in the rubble so that the dogs could find them and be happy. In Australia there is a plant called the Gympie gympie which has such a severe sting that horses who brush against it throw themselves off cliffs because they'd rather die than continue to experience the pain. Migraines and strokes carry a lot of the same symptoms, so if you suffer regular migraines you may not notice you're actually dying one day. Bedbugs procreate by traumatic insemination. Males literally stab females with their genitals. So, just another reason to hate them then. Climbing Mount Everest has a 6.5% mortality rate. What's more harrowing is that if you die, you will most likely be left there. There's currently over 200 dead bodies on Everest that are irretrievable and now serve as markers for other climbers. Not a bad place to eternally rest, but upsetting for those left behind who can't give you a proper burial. If a hamster gets too stressed, it will eat its kids. During the Seoul Olympics 1988 a large amount of doves were released into the stadium. When the giant brazier was lit many of the released doves were sitting in it, resulted in many doves being burned alive. Rabies is terrifying. You can get it and not even know it from bats, which live across the globe. It might hit you right away, it might be in 3 years. But it doesn't matter because once symptoms set in, you're already dead. The number one cause of death among pregnant women is murder. A man once had a tapeworm get cancer. That cancer metastasized, and the man died from tumors of tapeworm throughout his entire body. Male dolphins like to hunt fertile female in groups and hound them because they are unwilling. The females are often injured during this, some even die. It was once thought for birds, parrots, magpies to learn to talk, you had to release their tongue. This was done by cutting their tongue completely or partly off. Of course without any anesthesia or painkillers. The tongue release plays absolutely no role in the bird's ability to talk. According to the World Bank Group, the world produces about 2 billion tons of garbage every year.